Hi everyone, today's presentation is The Steps of Hero's Journey. But before we move forward, it's important we write down the essential question in your Cornell notes. What are the steps to the hero's journey? We will answer that question as we move through this presentation. So first, what is an epic? A long poem derived from ancient oral tradition narrating deeds and adventures of heroic or legendary figures or the history of a nation. Included in the epic is, you guessed it, the hero's journey. Now the epic had little effect upon the people for whom it was written. It was written for entertainment purposes only, and at the time they did not see the importance of the piece. It is later societies that see and understand its importance. And the picture here on our right is where King Arthur is being given Excalibur by the Lady of the Lake. And this, of course, is from the King Arthur stories. Now, a traditional epic has the following. It has a setting that's vast in scope, if not even worldwide. A plot that has a hero searching for something of value to him and his people. The story contains heroic deeds, battles, long journeys, and/or war. The supernatural often takes an active role, including supernatural realms. And a very important aspect is in medias res. This is Latin for in the middle of. Epics always begin after something big has happened. For example, in the Odyssey, the story begins with Odysseus and his men traveling home after the Trojan War. So what is an epic hero to begin with? Okay, an epic hero is the main character of an epic poem that tells of a grand quest in which they use their extraordinary superhuman abilities, though they are actually very human. And they do this to achieve great things. The epic poet creates a hero who defies the final end. His society is standing between worlds. And this picture is actually a relief, a Sumerian relief of Gilgamesh. So epic heroes are often larger than life, possess character traits most valued by their society, pursue goals in the face of setbacks, are human and have human frailties, undertake a quest or journey, and they overcome great obstacles and maintain their humanity. And here are some examples of epic heroes. All human. We have Batman, we have Katniss, we have the chick that's Luke Skywalker's daughter. I don't know her name. We have Luke Skywalker, and we have my personal favorite, Harry Potter. And though Harry Potter was magical, he was also part witch. He was also part Muggle, which is human. There you go. So other characteristics and characters in and of the epic. Now first, it's really important. The villains are often the grotesque in nature. They work from keeping the hero from his quest. A great example of this is Voldemort. Look how grotesque he looks. That's what they mean. They are grotesque. The supernatural often takes an active role, including supernatural realms. The Force in Star Wars, that's supernatural. There is always a wise person, aka also known as the sage, that helps the heroes. Every epic has them. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the little green guy, Yoda, Dumbledore, things like that. Next, we have types of epics. There's two types of epics. There's the folk epic, which is an oral composition that passes from storyteller to storyteller and has changed over time. Examples of this is Gilgamesh, Beowulf, and the Odyssey. The literary epic is a written composition that goes unchanged over time. Examples of this are Divine Comedy and Paradise Lost. Now, the thing about the epic is it actually becomes very ingrained in our society. If we look at the story of Paradise Lost, that epic, that a lot of beliefs seen in movies, seen in art, TV shows, and even some personal beliefs come from Paradise Lost and not the Bible. Next, we have elements of the epics. We have two very important ones I want you to remember and we're going to look at throughout the reading of Beowulf. Stock epithets. Now, stock epithets are seen in other types of literature, as is our example below, but they are adjectives that point out special traits of character. Example, death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field. This is from Romeo and Juliet, and here Juliet is being described as a flower and death as the frost that lay upon her. One that we will see in Beowulf is a kenning. It is a poetic synonym found in Germanic poetry. It's a descriptive phrase or a compound word that substitutes for a noun. So instead of using the character name, they use a kenning. The Almighty's enemy instead of saying Grendel, or sin-stained demon instead of saying Grendel. So you may ask yourself, why do we have epic poems? What are their purpose? Well, they are tales where people honor and sin against gods. They transcend ordinary limits, and they tell of the human condition. And you may ask yourself, what is the human condition? Well, human conditions are characteristic events or situations most common to human experience, such as birth, growth, emotionality, aspirations, conflict, and mortality. And by the 1600s, the poets were expected to compose an epic worthy of comparison to those of ancient times, like Gilgamesh or the Odyssey. John Milton was the last epic writer with Paradise Lost. And most see his story as fact. It's not. It's fiction. But a lot of people see it as fact. Next is a video that I hope you enjoy and helps you understand exactly what the hero's journey is.
What do Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo all have in common with the heroes of ancient myths? What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces, retelling dozens of stories and explaining how each represents the monomyth or hero's journey. So, what is the hero's journey? Think of it as a cycle. The journey begins and ends in the hero's ordinary world, but the quest passes through an unfamiliar, special world. Along the way, there are some key events. Think about your favorite book or movie. Does it follow this pattern? Status quo. That's where we start. 1 o'clock. Call to adventure. The hero receives a mysterious message, an invitation, a challenge. 2 o'clock. Assistance. The hero needs some help, probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock. Departure. The hero crosses the threshold from his normal, safe home and enters the special world and adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. 4 o'clock. Trials. Being a hero is hard work. Our hero solves a riddle, slays a monster, escapes from a trap. 5 o'clock. Approach. It's time to face the biggest ordeal, the hero's worst fear. 6 o'clock. Crisis. This is the hero's darkest hour. He faces death, possibly even dies, only to be reborn. At 7 o'clock, treasure. As a result, the hero claims some treasure, special recognition, or power. 8 o'clock, result. This can vary between stories. Do the monsters bow down before the hero, or do they chase him as he flees from the special world? 9 o'clock, return. After all that adventure, the hero returns to his ordinary world. 10 o'clock, new life. This quest has changed the hero. He has outgrown his old life. 11 o'clock, resolution. All the tangled plot lines get straightened out. 12 o'clock, status quo, but upgraded to a new level. Nothing is quite the same once you're a hero. Many popular books and movies follow this ancient formula pretty closely, but let's see how well The Hunger Games fits the hero's journey template. When does Katniss Everdeen hear a call to adventure that gets the story moving? When her sister's name is called from the lottery. How about assistance? Is anyone going to help her on her adventure? Hey, Mitch. What about departure? Does she leave her ordinary world? She gets on a train to the capital. Okay, so you get the idea. What do you have in common with Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo? Well, you're human, just like them. The hero's journey myth exists in all human cultures and keeps getting updated because we humans reflect on our world through symbolic stories of our own lives. You leave your comfort zone, have an experience that transforms you, and then you recover and do it again. You don't literally slay dragons or fight Voldemort, but you face problems just as scary. Joseph Campbell said, "In the cave you fear to enter lies the treasure you seek." What is the symbolic cave you fear to enter? Auditions for the school play? Baseball tryouts? Love? Watch for this formula in books, movies, and TV shows you come across. You will certainly see it again, but also be sensitive to it in your own life. Listen for your call to adventure. Accept the challenge. Conquer your fear and claim the treasure you seek. And then do it all over again.